Hey everyone, now that I've beaten Clair Obscur at Expedition 33, 100% of the game, I thought it'd be a good idea to go over every single weapon for every character, so you can decide kind of what weapons you want to build up and see how cool they look, because they all actually look pretty cool, and they all look pretty different. So, we'll hide the tooltips so you can get a good visual look at the weapons, and we'll go one by one. First and foremost, we have the Barrier Breaker. This one is a really good weapon. It's mainly built off hitting shields or hitting marked targets to break shields. So you steal shields removed by hitting enemies, and then hitting a marked enemy breaks all of its shield. It's not the best weapon out of all of the other weapons. The element's good, but the defense and agility is whatever. The next one we have is Battle 'em. I don't want to go over each weapon too long because there's a lot of weapons. So, double gradient generation while in defensive stance. If stanceless base attack switches to defensive, 5% of gradient charge on parry. So, it's a very defensive sword. A lot of people probably won't like it, but who knows. This one's a really cool burn weapon. I liked using it for a long time. Critical hits apply burn, base attack applies 2 burn, and then 100% crit chance while stanceless. While it is a fun and interesting weapon, I don't think it's like the best, but it's a cool burn weapon. But trust me, there are way stronger burn weapons. Next up we have the Sciel. This one has that light element. Anyways, on defensive stance, gain 1 shield per parry, lose all shields on turn start, so it's a basic parry weapon. Increase light damage with skills and increase counter damage per shield. So you get the idea. It is a counter sword. If you're good at countering, you might like that. If you parry a lot, you might like that. Next up, the Clair. I love how dark the swords are, so you can barely see it. Critical hits with skills give 2 AP once per turn. Not bad. 20% increased lightning damage with skills, and then 50% increased chance while in offensive stance. Crit chance while in offensive stance. So high crit, high lightning damage. You can use like Gustav's Gommage or Gustav's like lightning attack. Yeah, I can see this working. I didn't care too much about lightning builds though. Now, this is a much cooler looking weapon. The cold ones, like the Cold'em here, much cooler looking weapon. Self heal by 2%, heal or health on dealing critical hit, okay. 50% critical chance while in defensive stance, and then if stanceless, base attack switches to defensive stance. So it's again more of a defensive stance weapon, so probably people won't love it, but it's looking pretty cool. This one, in defensive stance, gain AP, also gives AP to all allies. If defenseless, base attack switches to defensive, and then 1 AP on stance switch. This one's a defensive and just general stance switching weapon to gain a lot of AP. Not the best, but still pretty interesting physical damage weapon. Another physical damage weapon, in offensive stance, double the amount of burn applied, 50% increased burn damage, and at level 20, base attack propagates burn. So another cool burn weapon, the Face'em, if you will. And the idea is you're in probably offensive stance, you apply a lot of burn, go to virtuous stance, and then you kill it and do a lot of damage that way. But you'll get a lot of burn on it, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Next up, we have the Glace'em. Oh, a high damage weapon. Physical. Allies recover health switching to Virtuous Stance, gain Shell when switching out of Virtuous Stance, and cleanse self-status effect when switching to Virtuous Stance. Overall, this is probably one of the better weapons because of the switching in and out of Virtuous. You have allies healing, and you have gain Shell and Cleanse. So it's actually pretty helpful. Cleanse helps a lot later on. And gaining Shell is just nice in general. High damage too, so pretty cool. Now, the Jarum. Switch to Virtuous Stance on counterattack. And by the way, whichever weapon you end up using endgame, that's pretty much where you put all of your stats. So you see how I'm Might, Defense, and Luck? That's because I use the Medulum like many others do. Anyways, over to Jarum. Switch to Virtuous Stance on counterattack. Apply 5 burn on counterattack. And then increase counterattack damage per shield. So it's good for counterattacking, but I wouldn't recommend using that because that's easier said than done. In Virtuous Stance, hitting a marked enemy doesn't remove marked. Switch to Virtuous Stance on counterattack, and gain Shell when switching out of Virtuous Stance. Very similar to that other one, except this one doesn't remove marked on hitting marked enemies, so nice. Maelle, useless, chuck it out, it's not a good weapon. Beginner weapon. Medulum's pretty insane because you start in Virtuous Stance, In Virtuous Stance, every burn applied is doubled, and then in Virtuous Stance, burns deal double damage. So this is kind of the best Maelle instant turn weapon because you start in Virtuous Stance, and it's the best kind of burn damage and application weapons because the double application and double damage, so you're like double dipping for quadruple overall burn damage in theory. So hell yeah, that's awesome. It's a really good weapon, great for one-shotting and great for just burn sustained overall attack. So insane, 10 out of 10. Next up, we have the Mailerum, yeah, okay. Allies recover health on switching Virtuous, apply Shell when health is above 80%, and then switch to Virtuous Stance when health falls below 50%. So pretty understandable weapon there. Okay, we only have a handful left for Maelle. Didn't expect so many weapons, dang. On turn start, if stanceless, switch to defensive stance. In defensive stance, double break damage, and then support skills cost 1 less AP. Okay, so support and stance break weapon. Interesting. And defense, yeah. Okay, +1 shield on switching to offensive stance. If stanceless, base attack switches to offensive stance, and then more crit chance while in offensive stance. So for this weapon, you'd probably want to constantly switch between offensive stance and then virtuous stance. So like damage and then more damage. And that should probably be what you do with that. It's a decent enough weapon, but not for me. Switch to Virtuous Stance, break any shield. Free aim shots, break 2 shields. And then in Virtuous Stance, all damage, pierce shields. Oh god, it's a dummy arm. Terrifying, terrifying. We have the Stalem here. Apply burn on self on start. Okay, self on turn start. Increase damage for each self burn stacks. Yeah, makes sense. Base attack applies to burn. And while in defensive stance, receive heal instead of burn damage. So you get the idea. Stay in defensive stance, swap between it so you burn, and then you heal your burn, do more damage, etc. and so forth. Weird weapon, probably not great for a lot of people. Let's be real. Yeah, not a lot of weapons left. By the way, if I am missing out on any random weapons, let me know. I've 100% of the game, to my knowledge, killed all possible bosses I could find and have found all pictos and weapons that I could possibly find, but I probably missed some. Just let me know if you've seen any I miss. In defensive stance, gain double break damage, gain 9 AP on breaking an enemy, and then breaking an enemy deals high amount of earth damage. Yeah, good earth element weapon. You don't have a ton of those for Maelle. 1 AP on stance switch. If stanceless, base attack switches to defensive stance, and then recover 5% health on stance switch. Okay, little Healy, base attack, AP, not bad. Yaverum, applying shell also applies 1 shield. On applying shell, also give 1 AP. On switching to virtuous stance, double all shields on ally. Damn, AP and shields. Interesting weapon. So that's all what I have for Maelle here. I use the Medulum, but that's because I'm building for one-shotting right now, and that's why the power is higher, because I have all defense and agility. Might be different for you, but just build whatever you prefer, and then go from there. With Monoco, I have the Sidaro, and as you can see, much less Monoco weapons compared to every other person in the game, because you get him much later in the game. Now, we will go alphabetically, starting at the Balaro. Yeah, I got that one from one of the Axons. Reverse Bestial Wheel order. Using an upgrade skill gives 1 AP to all other allies. Really good, I very much enjoy it. And then Almighty Mask gives 2 AP to all allies. I actually used this weapon for a while, and I do think it's really good. Start battle in Agile Mask, little hat one. Agile Mask applies Rush for 3 turns, and then 50% crit chance while in Agile Mask. So Agile Mask build with fire, understandable. Replay instantly when in Almighty Mask, the Brumaro, plus 3 AP when in Almighty Mask, and then revive instantly with full health if dead while in Almighty Mask once per battle. So you could do a suicide build while in Almighty Mask. I think that's why. I wouldn't love that one, but it's very interesting. You do get replay instantly when in Almighty Mask, so it's kind of insane if you think about it. You instantly get, if you hit Almighty Mask and pay attention to your Bestial Wheel order, yeah, second turn, pretty much free cheater picto once in a while. Cromero. Start battle in Caster Mask, and then Caster Mask applies regen for 3 turns. Skills cost 1 less AP while in Caster Mask. So more of a support heals mask weapon. Caster Mask weapon. Cool. Here you have Frigaro. Free aim shots spin Bestial Wheel to a random value. Oh, cool. Free aim shots deal 100% more damage while in all masks except Almighty. And then crit chance while in Almighty Mask. So this is a free aim build weapon and 100% crit chance while in Almighty Mask. So straight up build for shooting them, as well as just no crit Almighty Mask attacks. Cool. Grandaro. Start battle in Heavy Mask. Heavy Mask, apply shell for 3 turns. Okay. And then +1 AP per hit taken. Oh, not bad, but you'd have to build tanky. Joyaro. Start battle in Almighty Mask. Okay. 20% increased damage for each consecutive turn without taking damage, can stack up to 5 times. That's, oh yeah, I was using this at some point too. As you can see, it's max level. It's insane because of that buff, so you can do a fuck ton more damage. Break damage is doubled while in Almighty Mask. Yep, and you can have huge break. Sick. Monoco. Start battle in Balanced Mask. Balanced Mask applies powerful for 3 turns, and then critical hit deals 30% more damage while in Balanced Mask. So, basic Balanced Mask weapon. Nusaro. Parries increase Bestial Wheel by 1. Taking damage resets Bestial Wheel. Upgrade skills deal 30% more damage, upgraded skills, and then +1 AP on Mask Change. This one's really nice if you just kind of want random whatever, because you'll just get Bestial Wheel stuff swapping around. So it's not bad. +1 AP on Mask Change is really nice. You get a lot of AP, so it's actually a really good weapon IMO. 30% increased damage per upgraded skill used. Resets on using a non-upgraded skill. That's why I'm using this one, and then I just jump between using my upgraded skill, so I really like it. Base attack spins the Bestial Wheel to a random value, and I also enjoy that. It means I can just YOLO every round. And then using an upgraded skill gives 1 AP to all other allies. I absolutely adore this weapon. That's why I use it. The element is darkness, might, luck, build, and then I go agility, so it's a very strong, cool weapon. The overall power is lower because of that, but you gain 30% increased damage per upgraded skill used, so always use upgraded skills and you're a god. Last but not least, weapon Unaro. Switch to Almighty Mask on breaking enemy. Almighty Mask gives 2 AP to all allies, and then increased break damage. Yeah, it's a braked weapon. Yeah, for sure. So I do pretty good break on Monoco. This is also a really good weapon, to be honest. So try it out. There's a lot of good weapons and a ton of builds you can do around each weapon. So it's worth checking out. Now we'll go over all of Sciel's weapons. I myself use the Moisten, but I don't use Sciel that much. So we'll start off alphabetically at the Elgurin. I know, weird names. Hopefully I don't mess it up too much. Free aim shots consume 1 foretell to deal more damage. Base attack applies foretell. And then during Twilight, free aim shots deal double damage. So obviously this is a base attack and free aim shot build. I wouldn't really build this on a lot of people, but free aim builds are really OP for stacking buffs and damage. You can use it if you want. I just don't care for it. Don't find them fun. While having at least 1 active moon charge, moon skills are always critical, but damage taken is doubled. Ooh, glass cannon, love it. Increased damage per moon charge, and then base attack gives 1 moon charge. Okay, Blizzon is amazing if you want to stack moon charges and deal damage. That's actually pretty interesting. Bergelon, consume foretell, applies 2 burn on target per sun charge. Ooh, a burn build. 100% increased burn damage in Twilight State, and stun skills give 1 more charge. Okay. So just all the burn. I like it. Then you have the Karen. 100% crit chance during Twilight. Apply 1 foretell on crit hit. Nice. 20% increased damage for each consecutive turn without taking damage, and it can stack 5 times for 100% damage. Not bad. I would not be able to stack it that well. I suck at parrying and dodging everything. Sun skills always apply 10 foretell, but all damage taken is doubled. RIP. Glass cannon AF. Base attack is 1 moon charge and consumes all foretell to apply burn. And then 100% increased burn damage in Twilight State. Yeah, cool burn weapon though. Cordion. Wait, Corduron? Oh, it's one of the Sakapatata weapons. Curse self on battle start. Deal 50% more damage while cursed. Oh, this could be a really good build with a one-shot. Reset curse duration when entering Twilight State. Play again when entering Twilight State. Cool. Dareton, 1 AP per moon charge on turn start. Base attack gives 1 moon charge. And then during Twilight, base attack consumes all AP. Base attack applies 1 foretell, deals 50% increased damage per AP consumed. So yeah, you can also go with like a base attack nuke build. Moon charge, Twilight, base attack, nuke. Interesting. While having at least 1 active sun charge, apply 1 burn stack per hit taken. Counterattack, yeah, apply 1 burn per active sun charge. And then base attack consume 1 charge to apply foretell. That's actually interesting. Sun, burn, and foretell. I like it. Goblusen. During Twilight, every time Foretell is applied, it also affects another random enemy. And then apply 1 burn every 3 Foretell applied with skills. And lastly, 20% increase fire damage with skills. Okay, love it. Gulsen. Oh, Gulsa, love it. On Twilight start, apply mark to all enemies. Hey, that's actually a pretty good mark build then, hell yeah. Hitting a marked enemy during Twilight doesn't remove mark. So you start Twilight, mark everyone, and it doesn't remove because you're in Twilight. Awesome. Apply 3 Foretell on applying mark. Yeah, no, that's actually a really good build. Good setup. You just go back and forth. I could see myself using that on her if I used it. No, 100%, I could use that. During Moon, all allies have greater rush. During Sun, all enemies have greater slow. During Twilight, all enemies have greater rush, and all enemies have greater slow. And then plus... Okay, so you just apply greater rush and then greater slow on Moon and Twilight. And then plus 3 AP on applying a buff or debuff once per turn. Oh, that's sick. So you just gain buffs, gain AP, apply buffs. Sick. Killing an enemy with Foretell applies its Foretell to another random enemy. Apply mark on consuming Foretell. Okay. Increase dark damage with skills. So it's dark, Foretell, and mark application. Okay, okay. Not bad. Not amazing. Martinon. On Twilight start, deal damage to all enemies based on the amount of charges. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. On Twilight start, apply 2 Foretell per charge to all enemies, and then double Sun and Moon charges generation. Okay, yeah, you could do a pretty good nuke build with that, I think. Minasun. Sun skills have increased damage for each Foretell on the target. Moon skills don't generate Moon charges anymore. Okay. With at least 1 active Sun charge, gain 1 additional AP per Foretell consumed, and then base attack consumes 1 Sun charge to apply 5 Foretell. So you apply Sun charges, get Sun charges, apply Foretell, and then nuke it. Cool. Then back to the Moisten, which was during Twilight, all damage dealt is converted dark, increase dark damage with all skills, and then apply Shell during Moon, Powerful during Sun, and Rush during Twilight. So it has a little bit of everything. Damage increase with skills on dark. During Twilight, all damage dealt is converted to dark, so no matter what, damage buff during Twilight. And then you always apply buffs on yourself, Shell, Powerful, or Rush. Overall, I like it and use it, but I don't use her too much. Either way, oh well. Ramazan can consume 1 Moon charge on turn every start to recover 20% of each ally's health. Sorry, words are hard sometimes. Base attack gives 1 Moon charge, and then Moon skills give 1 more charge. Next up is recover 5% health per Foretell applied. Healing skills cost 1 less AP, so you can tell this is more healing buffs. Increased heal efficiency per Moon charge. Base attack gives 1 Moon charge. So if you want to be a support healer, but I don't like that one. On turn start, gain 1 shield if at least 1 Sun charge is active. Apply 5 Foretell on enemies that break shields, and then plus 2 Sun charges on counterattack. Can't see myself using this one too much. It's an interesting enough gimmick, but not insane. Cielson is just early, so it's crap. Tisserand extends Twilight by 1 turn on using a Moon skill, 50% Twilight damage increase on using a Sun skill. Twilight duration increased by 1, and then play again when entering Twilight state. Yeah, so as you can tell, this one's actually like really good because you get extended, more Moon skill damage. Twilight damage increased on using a Sun skill, right? It's just pretty good. Either way, those are all of the Sciel weapons. I'd like to say they're pretty good and very pretty. I liked how, like, cool all the weapons look. Now let's start off with ya girl, Lune. I used her primarily as fire AoE damage and heals and stuff, but it changed around as the time went. You know, Elemental Genesis, other things, etc. and so forth. Starting off with Lune, we have the Angerum. Base attack applies 2 burn per fire stain. Generate 1 fire stain at the beginning of each turn, and then increase burn damage per fire stain. So you can tell this one's based on burn and just collecting fire stains, so you just constantly hit them with those fire stains. You could hit that move that just fire attacks every round and you just builds up every time. Very good, but not the best. Still good, I like it. I just don't use it. Healing skills cost 1 less AP, you can tell where this is going. Healer weapon. Generate Earth Stain beginning of each turn, and then replay instantly on consuming stains with a healing skill. So it's a healing support build. Using a skill, consume stains, increase damage by 20%, can stack up to 5 times, resets on using a skill without consuming stains. Ooh, really good if you can constantly combos your stains. On turn start, if no stains, 2 random stains are generated. Oh shit, that's actually really good. Because you could have a lot of abilities on 2 stains and a good variety, but it'd be hard. Plus 1 AP when stains are consumed. Wouldn't be the hardest, but pretty interesting weapon. Oh, I love this one. 30% increased crit chance per ice stain, 5% of a gradient charge on critical hit, and then 20% increased fire damage with skills. This works really well with my general build, which hits them with ice to regain AP and then hits them with damage. Overall, I like this weapon. I just like burn a lot though. This game's very burn heavy. Burn is one of the like main elements clearly because it applies burn damage and it stacks so much. So the game has a lot of burn builds for a lot of characters, if you noticed. Maybe you didn't. Here we have the Chapelum. Increased break damage per earth stain. Gain 9 AP on breaking an enemy, and then, damn, that's insane actually. Generate 1 earth stain at the beginning of each turn. So this is obviously a break damage earth build, and I think it would go really well. You could break enemies, and then you'd have a full round of AP next and do another insane like AoE attack. Awesome. Ooh, this one looks cool. Corlum. 100% increased crit chance when 4 stains are simultaneously active. Okay. 20% increased damage for each consecutive turn without taking damage. Yes, stacks up to 5 times. Classic. 20 or critical hits apply burn. No, that's awesome. That's a really good weapon. I like it. Colum. 50% chance to generate a light stain when consuming stains. Sorry. Plus 1 AP on consuming a light stain. And then 20% increased damage with skills per active light stain. Not bad. And it looks cool. I like this one as well. They look like throwing stars half the time, but they aren't. Ice skills cost 1 less AP. Okay. Increase damage with ice skills and then start battle with 1 earth stain. So obviously this is just an ice build weapon. Really good overall if you're looking for that, but I think it falls off a little bit later. Lightning skills, lightning damage increase, start battle with 1 fire stain. Same as the previous one, but lightning. Elarum. Consuming earth stain gives 1 shield to self, increase earth jam skills, and base attack generates earth strain. So, or stain. Basic earth build. Next up is the Kralum. Casting a skill increases skill damage of all other elements by 20%. Resets when casting a skill of a previous element. On turn start, if no stains, 2 random stains are generated. And then plus 1 AP when stains are consumed. I would say this is actually a pretty cool weapon. I think it's good overall. I like it. Lighterum. Now, this is the bad boy I use. Fire skills cost less AP because it's pure fire build. Increase fire damage with skills, and then start battle with Ice Stain. Obviously, I'm using a basic fire one, but there's other fire ones that are good too, like the other ones we went over. 50% chance to generate a dark or light stain when consuming stains. Deal 50% more damage with skills per active dark stain. Plus 1 AP on consuming a light stain. Base attacks can consume 1 dark stain to deal 200% more damage. Okay. I like this one. You can do a ton of damage with dark stains. Lunarum, basic, early, fire. Painarum, earth skill, earth damage. You start with lightning stain, basic, good, earth. Healing skills generate additional light stain. Consuming a light stain applies slow to a random enemy, and then base attack generates a light stain. I think light stains and dark stains are also universal stains, so you can be used on anything, but maybe I'm crazy and I'm wrong, but I think that's how that works. Regulum. Healing skills generate light stain, generate 1 ice stain at the beginning of each turn, and then replay instantly on consuming stains with a healing skill. Okay, so healing build, not bad, not bad. 5 left. Saparum. Using a gradient attack generates 1 additional light stain. When a fire attack is generated, a lightning stain is also generated once per turn. Gradient attacks, gradient counters deal 50% more damage. Not bad. Scaverum. 50% chance to generate a dark stain when consuming stains. Deal 50% more damage with skills per active dark stain. Okay. Base attack can consume 1 dark stain to deal 2% more damage, and then with 4 active dark stains, any skill can consume them to deal 300% more damage. Okay, that's pretty sick. Actually, I don't think I've done any build with specific dark stains. I don't know. Anyways, freeze self when falling below 30% health, prevents the next instance of damage while frozen, so it like gives you a shield. That's cool. On turn start, if frozen, remove freeze and recover 60% health. Oh, wow, that's awesome. And then gain 2 ice stains and 3 AP when frozen. So pretty much if you get hit close to death, you freeze. The thing about freezing is I think it can only work once, so they'll hit you when you're frozen, and then you'll be able to dodge again. So it's kind of a weird mechanic, because when you're frozen, you can't dodge or parry, right? So it can only protect you for 1 hit, and you have to hope you get hit at the very end and then get frozen to heal up. Oh well. So it could be better. Trebuchem. Generate a random stain on free aim shot. So this is a free aim build. +1 AP when stains are consumed. And then base attack generates 2 random stains. Oh, so it's like free aim, base attack. You can just do whatever the hell. Wouldn't use it, but it's interesting. Free aim shots deal damage to an additional random target. Increase free aim damage, and then generate a random stain on free aim shot. Holy hell, this is better free aim build. Yeah, I'd use that. Overall, yeah, not bad. There are a lot of cool weapons here. And they very much look pretty nice, so yeah, all for it. Sadly, the coolest weapons are probably Verso / Gustav, Maelle, and Sciel. With Monocos. No, I like Monocos as well, but they aren't swords, so a little more boring. Now, final character, everybody. It's your boy Verso. I use the Corpesso, and as you can see, your boy has a goddamn ton of weapons. This one is burn per rank plus 1 AP on rank up, and then increase burn damage by 50% per rank up to 300% on S rank. So it is another burn build. Can you tell that I like burn builds? This game also very much supports many burn builds. So let's take a look and decide what weapons do we like. First, we have the Abyss Ram. 50% increased damage on rank D. No damage increase on other ranks. You have 50% increased base damage attack. And then on rank D, recover 20% health with base attack. Not the best. Probably don't want to use it. But if you get rank D a lot, maybe not a bad idea. Perfection is now based on current health. Gain 1 rank every 20% missing health. Oh, so this would be a low health build. 20% increased light damage with skills, and then +1 AP on rank up. Yeah, you pretty much just need to be low health, so you'd have to do a damaged low health build where everything either takes health, you use the skills that take health, or you use the pictos that auto beat you up. Not bad though. Start battle at rank S, but can't be healed or gain shield. Okay, I think I use this one for a bit for the fun of it. 20% increased damage for each consecutive turn without taking damage can stack up to 5 times, and then apply rush on rank S. Not bad, it looks cool though. Here we have the Confuso. Now this weapon, as you can see, it looks a little bit like Zangetsu. So not bad. Not quite, but it's the same build as Zangetsu. So shout out to Zangetsu. It's just it looked like Zangetsu when you're using Gustav because he uses the one. Anyways, light damage can burn on critical hits. Apply 3 burn instead of mark. Okay. And then increase burst damage by 50% per rank up on, yeah, up to rank S. Another burn build weapon. A lot of burn build weapons. Holy shit. Contorso. Switch rank S on break. Base attack and break. So this is a base attack rank S build. Crit chance on rank S, and then triggers a lightning strike on crit. Oh no, this is actually just good on general. Yeah, not bad. Corpesso. Base attack applies 2 burn stack per rank. +1 AP on rank up, and then increase burn damage. Yeah, you know, we went over Corpesso because it's a good weapon, guys. Now we have the Cruel Ram. Don't lose rank when taking damage from powerless enemies. +1 perfection on hitting a powerless enemy. Apply powerless on counterattack. So powerless enemy build. Dennis Susso. Oh god, it's a cute little, it's cute, look at it. Frick, feather, that's the word. It's a beautiful feather. Base attack gives 1 perfection per burn on target. While powerful, 20% chance to burn on hit, and +1 AP on rank up. Sweet. Delaram, start battle with rank B, but 50% health. Recover 15% health on base attack. Apply powerful on rank B. Yeah, kind of a lame weapon with some base attack built-in buffs and stuff. Not great. And other buffs. This one is casting a light skill, increase damage of next physical skill cast by 50%, vice versa. 20% increase physical damage with skills, and then dealing light damage with a skill recovers 3% HP. Not bad. Drimaso, gain 1 rank on counterattack, 50% increase counterattack damage, and gain 2 AP on counterattack. I can't counterattack, but counterattack build, Duelisso. Now this one's really cool. Play again after base attack, 50% increase base attack damage, and then base attack gives 4 perfection. You get the idea. This is a full base attack. Like, this is how you'd play this. Instantly, round 1, since it's play again after a base attack, you would start your round off by using a base attack no matter what. That would gain you AP, and then you'd use your ability. All in all, it's a pretty sick weapon. And it's a Duelisto, so I think it's from the Duelist boss. Anyways, when hit, lose 1 perfection instead of 1 rank. Okay, apply rush on rank S. Cool. Gain 2 perfection on turn start. Not bad. Not amazing. Jessam. Convert light damage from skills to physical. Increase physical damage with skills. -1 AP cost for physical skills. So physical skill build. Glacesso. See, you have very similar weapons between everyone. Because this is like the Glacier one for Maelle as well. Either way. 1 perfection on critical. Self-heal by 2%. Health on dealing a critical hit. Counterattack is always a critical hit. Okay, not bad. Counterattack and crits and stuff. And heals. Rank can't be lower than C, so this is a very more specific build. Base attack gives 4 perfection, and then parrying gives 2 perfection instead of 1. TLDR is it's a good weapon if you attack, if you parry, and if you have C, B, D, or nothing that's D. C, B, A, and S rank skills. Words are hard. Oh, this weapon looks really cool. The Lightso. Lightso. This increased base attack consumes all shield to deal 100% increased damage per shield. It's really good if you build a lot of shield, obviously. +1 shield on counterattack, and then base attack gives 4 perfection. Not bad. You have the No-Ram, which is dog basic early game weapon. You have the Nosaram, which is double perfection game on free aim attack, free aim shot. Free aim shot breaks 2 shields, and then increase free aim damage. Free aim build. Can't lose perfection, no damage increase from rank, rip. 50% increased base attack damage, and then base attack gives 4 perfection. Sick. +1 to all perfection gain, but can't be reach S. Shit, unfortunate. Base attack gives 4 perfection, and then increase light damage with all skills. Just don't build for S too much. Samoso. Oh, this is Simon's weapon. It's awesome. I love it. An ethereal sword deals light damage on any damage dealt with skills. So TLDR, you attack twice. 20% chance to apply burn on dealing light damage. Can't die if at least A rank. I'm probably going to use this weapon for now, actually. Cyroso. Bonus damage from perfection applies to all allies, half value. Bonus damage no longer applies to Verso. Womp womp. Perfection gain increased by 1 while powerful. And support skills cost 1 less AP. Hey, good support. Good stuff. This one's hilarious. Hammer. Gain 1 rank on applying mark. Mark an enemy on base attack. Apply powerful on marking an enemy. Not bad. And Verso. That is dude's base weapon. Either way, everyone. Yeah, that took a lot of time. Holy crap, I didn't realize there were so many weapons in the game. But either way, that is every weapon that I ended up with in endgame Clair Obscur. I 100% am missing a couple, whether those be vendor or maybe a couple of random enemy drops. Let me know. But it's important to note a lot of weapons can be acquired at 2 to 3 different locations in the game. You can also upgrade them, so it's not really a big deal because nothing can be permanently lost in the game because they make multiple ways to get it. So keep that in mind. Let me know what you think, everybody. Sub, like, check out all the other videos if you want to support the channel. I thank you all for being here, and I will see you next time. Cheers.